Welcome back to another video here on East Coast Garage. Today I'm going to be installing vinyl wrap on the top of my 2019 WRX. This car has the sunroof and it has that little antenna fin on the back that has to come off. So I'm going to take that off. It's got some side trim pieces that I have to take off so the vinyl wrap can go around the sides and then the trim can go back on to cover it up. I'm just going to take you through step by step on how I do it. And everything that it takes to get this job done. So here I have everything laid out on my hood, everything I'm going to need to do this. So you're going to need some microfiber cloths or some sort of rags for cleaning. You're going to need a heat gun to heat up the wrap to stretch it around the corners and whatnot, some Windex or other type of cleaner. I got this pressure spray bottle filled with 1 drop of dish soap and then water, so that when you get the vinyl on, you can spray this on to help the squeegee slide better so you're not scratching up the vinyl. You're also going to need some sort of X-Acto blades, so I got that. And then this kit here is a trim or molding removal kit. So they're plastic, so you're not going to be damaging or scratching the paint or anything else while you're taking some of these moldings off. I don't have any squeegees and I didn't buy any, but you can just use credit cards, or these are gift cards to Dunkin' Donuts. Just something like that to squeegee all the bubbles out and smooth everything out when you have laid the wrap down. So to get started, the first thing that I'm going to do is remove these molding pieces that go down the length of the vehicle. There's one on both sides, so that has to come off so that the wrap can come around the corner here and down around that edge, and then it'll get covered with this trim piece once you put it back in. But instead of cutting around that, it's pretty easy to pop off, so I'm going to go ahead and take that off first. So it's going to be different on every car on how to take this trim piece off, but on the 2019 WRX, it's as simple as just taking your tool, sliding it under, and giving it a little pop. Pops up, and then just run your tool along the whole length of the car, and it just pops right up. And just like that, it's out. Do the same thing on the other side. So then you can just remove all these little clips by just popping them out, just to get them out of your way. Just take note of which way they come out so you put them back in the same way. This one has the little tab on that side, so they all go in that same way. So just pop them all out. So the next thing you're going to want to do is open up the sunroof so you'll be able to wrap the vinyl over the edge here, so when the sunroof is closed you won't see a seam or anything. So we're just going to do that real quick. So the next thing we have to do is take the fin antenna off up here, and to do that you have to go inside the car and fold the seat down. You need to take this panel out here. So you gotta pop this little trim piece off like that, and then you should just be able to pull on it. It should break free. Park it down like that. Then if you come over here and pop this free here like that, pop this right out and throw it in the trunk. So from there, if you look up, there's 3 tabs. One here, and one here. So you just gotta pop these off, and to do that, there's the black part. You gotta stick this tool in between the black part and the white part. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of dark in here, I don't have a flashlight. If I stick that in and pop the black part down off of the white part, and then you can just pop the whole thing out. So do that to the 3 across there. So the next step is to take these handles off here, and in order to do that you need a small flathead screwdriver to put it up inside here and pop this little cover off right there. So you pop that off. It looks like this here. So there's the cover. You get your screwdriver in there, you pop it up, and then this pulls out, which releases the handle. You do that to both sides, and it comes right out. There's no bolts holding it in, it's just this mechanism here. So once you pop those caps, it all stays together and it all comes out in one piece. One side, pop the other side, pull it down. Do the same thing over here. Stick it in the top. Twist. Stick it in this side. Twist. Pull down, and the whole thing comes out. Then you can just pull the lining out from behind the seal on the door. Pull it out from behind that. Do the same thing on this side. Just pull it out. Pull it out. Just like that. And now you should have enough room to come back here, pull this down, and that's what you're trying to get at right there. So I'm going to get a wrench to undo that piece right there. So I just grabbed a small adjustable wrench, come up in here, get on it. It's not that tight, it comes off pretty easily. Undo that. That comes right out. It's loose up at the top now. Undo this wiring. Should just pop free. If you pop these clear plastic pieces off from the top, let this hang down, and come to the back side of this piece right here, you can push down on a clip and then pull that wire out right there, and then do the same thing to this maroon one. Push down on the back here. This maroon one's a little bit harder. You really got to push down on this back side here, and then it pops out just like that. So now we should be able to go back up to the top and pull it through. So there's actually a few little clips on this piece itself that you have to push together and pop up and push it like that, and then you can go up to the top and pull it out. You just come up here and pull it right through, and that's it. I'm going to clean this whole roof, all in the grooves here. Just clean up everything really nice. So I got the roof all cleaned with the microfiber cloths and the Windex. Again, it's very important that you prep the surface for no dirt, dust, anything. Everything will come through and show up after you put the vinyl on. Dust, dirt, anything. It'll show. You'll have a bump, imperfection, a bubble. Very, very important that you prep the surface. A lot of people use like tack cloths to go over when they're done cleaning it, just to get up everything. People use clay bar to go over it. This is a pretty new car, and I park it in the garage, so there's really not a lot of dirt or imperfections or anything on the top. But if you have an older car, it's going to be very important that you clean it. Use a clay bar. You want everything off. All dirt, dust, everything needs to come off. So this is the wrap here that I'm using. Vivid. I got it off of Amazon. It was $50 for the roll. It's 5 by 15, so I should use less than half of it. So the wrap should only cost $25 to do the roof. So I'm going to go ahead and lay out a piece, cut it. You leave the paper on the back until you get it up there and situated where you want it. I'm going to tape the front across the windshield so that when I'm pulling it from the back, I'm going to work back to front. When I'm pulling it to the back to stretch it out, then it won't be just sliding all over the place. You can use magnets if you put it on the top of the car, but I'm just going to tape it to the windshield. So once you get it laid out, taped in the front, you want to peel the paper off the back for about not quite halfway, a little over a quarter, maybe a third of the way up, and start to stick it down to the car, and then just work your way forward from there. So once you get that bottom side rolled under the actual vinyl, you can just roll it back, flop it back over, and start to stick it down. Now that I have the back part stuck down a little bit, I haven't squeegeed any of it out or pressed down on it or anything, I just have it laid out. I'm going to flip the top of the front part back like this. I'm going to rip the paper off that side, use the heat gun to heat up the bottom side of the vinyl, and then pull everything forward. So this is where I'm at now. I got the back section pretty much all laid out flat, squeegeed out, and this is what it did look like. The only way I could get it to work was to spray water underneath between the vinyl and the roof and spread it out that way, and then using the heat gun and the squeegee push the water and the bubbles in the air and everything out to the ends. Is the only way I could get it to work. I think you're supposed to be able to get it to stick down without using water underneath, but I couldn't get it to work, so I just went with the water, and seems to have worked pretty well. Not much imperfections or bubbles or anything. So I'm gonna do the same thing to the front section now. Just peel this back, spray water underneath, and squeegee it out that way. Alright, so I pretty much got everything smoothed out except for the very edges here. But once I cut all the extra off, I'll get that all laid down. But pretty good, looks pretty nice. I cut out the sunroof, cut out all this extra slack, and then start tucking all this stuff into place. So here in the front, I was able to run my knife in this groove. If you can see in there, that's where the end of the roof is. So I just ran my blade right in this groove here to give me a little extra to tuck behind this weather stripping right there. So I'm just going to peel this weather stripping back, tuck this in underneath all the way across, do the same thing on the back side here, and we'll be done. So I'm trying to show just enough of how to do it and what I'm doing without being super boring, because I've been out here for like 4 hours working on this. It's just a lot of tedious little tucking and squeegee and all kinds of boring stuff. But I'll just show you here on the back. I cut right along the edge of the glass all the way across, and that left just enough material to tuck in behind this seal here, this rubber seal. So I just took the 2 credit cards and tucked it all the way across, all the way down, and that's what it looks like after. Now I have to cut out the sunroof here and fold the edges around into the sunroof, and then go over everything one last time with the heat gun, wipe everything down, and we're good to go. So as you can see, I left about 1 inch of material all the way around. That's the material I'm going to use to wrap around the edges all the way around the whole sunroof. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So just by using the heat gun in my hands, you can just fold and bend and mold the material right around. Even like under here, I folded it around, went under, and pushed it underneath all the way to the backside. I didn't have to cut any slits in any of this. Just fold it under and across. And this should look real good when the sunroof is closed. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up that, and we'll be back. And just like that, we're done. Pretty good. Not too bad, not too bad. Took about 4.5 hours, I'd say. I just have to put I gotta cut that hole out for the antenna. Put that back in. Put the headliner back up. Basically just a reverse of how you took everything apart. Put it all back together. And that's it. That looks pretty good. Nice. Well, that's it. Everything's back together. The roof wrap is done. Took longer than I expected. A little bit harder than I expected. But I think it came out pretty good. Well, that's it for this video. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think about leaving that white versus wrapping that in carbon fiber too. See if I can get a view of it from here. Kind of can't tell with the white garage door in the background, but not sure if I want to leave that white or wrap that in carbon fiber too. So if anybody has an opinion or a thought on that, just leave it down in the comments. And thanks for watching. Have a good one.